So here's an interesting idea I just had. I have some of these old buildings that really haven't aged well, and here's what I did. I glued them together, and since they look so abandoned, I decided to make this abandoned mindset. And how can you make this abandoned mindset? Well, I'll give you a few rules. If you have anything like an old building or a set that looks like an old mine that could work, as long as it's up to scale with the scale that you're using, whether it be an old Tycho or some old Bachmann, or it just hasn't been treated well, and you decide to make that an abandoned mine, then that is perfectly okay. Now I know what you're thinking. I have many resin buildings of my own, and they all have been used. But here's the thing. They have the potential to be good in the set because, well, they still have the potential to work on set. And the same can be said for the sets on the abandoned mine. Now as you can see, most of these have not been treated well, but that's how you're supposed to build an abandoned mine. Now of course, I will go over a couple of rules on how you can build one yourself. And those are, there's no real style to building. Now of course that may sound weird, but all of my pieces are used. They all had to be glued together somehow, and even though they all don't look really accurate, even if I put in a couple of scrap, but you will see that I did try. But it doesn't mean it's 100% accurate. Anything you use must be up to scale. Anything that you use like Lionel or Walthers in O scale, or HO scale with Bachmann, Tycho, Hornby, Spectrum, Walthers, and the list goes on. And the stories are all up to you. As we all know, nobody is perfect, but we can all try our own ways. Because as you can see, I tried replicating the mine from Toby's discovery, and it's not 100% accurate, but it got a good vision out of me. Some of the parts on the building are missing or lost, but it doesn't matter because it's an abandoned mine we're talking about, and building these are so much fun. And also, you might have noticed some of the weathering on the buildings. Let's talk about that next. Now there's two methods of weathering that you can try. You can either try weathering for coal or weathering for oil. Let's talk about the coal real quick. Right here is an art kit with oil pastels. I recommend using the black one because that's what you use for coal. The white you can use for snow, but that's another story. Here you can see footage of me weathering a Norfolk and Western hopper.
Norfolk and Western, there's no stopping us.
Sorry, I just had to. But even still, it's not the best method, but I did try something. And this method won't stay the same forever, but at least it is something that I can do. I do wish to change it up in the future, but I'm glad how this turned out for now. Also, oil pastels are messier than markers, so I highly recommend that you wash your hands after doing this. But nevertheless, that's how you try weathering on a coal hopper. And now on to the weathering for how you use for oil. All you have to do is use water and black paint, mix the two together, and then you'll get a nice, watery, drippy, oily look on the tankers. Just go nice and easy like this. And as stated from the unlucky Tug when he weathered Salty, that you don't have to worry about anything because it's supposed to get messy. So no matter what you do, weathering is all up to you. And feel free to try these yourself. You'll have a lot of engines at work.